Hello everyone, welcome back to the Integrity Botanicals YouTube channel. Today I am doing a makeup look. I know I don't do these too often, but I just felt inspired to really play with a little bit of color, give you something a little bit autumnal. I wanted to share Und Gretel today, but they are not quite available yet, but they will be available very soon. So instead we just played with some old favorites. I am doing this purpley, very like daily vampy, nothing too dramatic, but you could definitely add some black in the waterline, go for a little bit of a deeper lip, maybe something from Rituel de Fille, and you will be good to go. But if you want to step into a little bit of fall magic, you want to play with makeup with me, see some of my favorite products in action, then please keep watching. All right, we're kicking things off with color corrector. This is none other than the ERE PEREZ Lychee corrector. I always forget what shade I use, so I'll go ahead and link it down below, but I always like to place this really strategically, and it's almost underneath the blue so that I'm lifting the entire area, focusing especially on the inner corner of my eye. So I'm blending this in with the RMS sponge. I'm using this dry. I find that it doesn't soak up too much of the product. And then I'm actually going in with the Cheekbone Beauty. This is the Unify pencil. I'm using the shade Fair 2. It's a little bit on the lighter side for me, but I compensate with bronzer and all of that good stuff. And I'm applying this everywhere. This gives a really natural skin-like finish. In this look, I did want to focus on this sort of skin-like sort of approach, which then I will go ahead and blend in with the RMS Skin to Skin foundation brush. I wanted to use a really densely packed brush because I do want to capitalize on the coverage of this. I would say that this is like a light to a light medium. It's buildable. You will see me go in with more product here, but it does an excellent job at evening everything out. And when I'm sometimes playing up the eyes, I like to have the skin covered so it doesn't look like I'm wearing nothing, but look super lifelike, just to keep that daytime sort of element with this. So I'm using that brush, I'm buffing it in. You can see it really evens everything else nicely. And then I'm going in just around the nose. That's an area of hyperpigmentation I have on the side of my face. Chin, above my brows to give my brows a little bit of shape, as well as underneath. And then I go ahead and blend it all in. Then I go in with the Fit Glow Conceal Plus. I need a little bit more coverage underneath my eyes. If you need it in other places as well, please feel free to use that. I am using this really beautiful dense Bdellium Tools brush. It's really precise. I really took my time with the skin here, which made it look as natural and healthy as possible. I am still loving the RMS, I forget the name of this powder, but it is in the shade Light. I love this stuff. If you are not into a powdery powder, you'll really like this. I'm using my Jenny Patinkin puff, working it into the back of my hand, and then I am pressing this underneath the eyes, around the nose, areas that I added a little bit of extra coverage, including my eyelid, because this is going to make for an amazing sort of base and erase any excess oil that is living there as well. So super skin-like, not too mattifying, but is going to leave me not looking shiny. And then I'm going in with something I haven't used in a while. This is the ERE PEREZ Cacao Bronzing Pot. This is the lighter of the two shades. I'm just applying it with an angled brush. It's going to give me a little bit of structure, a little bit of shape, a little bit of warmth. I'm really into layering these days. I want my makeup to last. And again, light layers are really how you get the skin looking really natural. So I'm taking it across the bridge of my nose. I find when I need some warmth, this really helps in that, under the chin and on both sides. And then again, back to layering, I am taking the RMS Redimension bronzer. I use the shade Bikini Beach. This is what I use every day. I love it layered as well, but this also builds really nicely on itself. So if you wanted multiple layers of that, you could do so. And just using a big Bdellium Tools fluffy brush. For blush, we are going in with the Rituel de Fille Color Nectar. This is in the shade Blood Flower. These are always really cool because they look really scary, but they have this gorgeous sheer watercolor sort of quality. So I'm warming it up on the back of my hands, and again, light layers. For a fall winter makeup look, I always love something that almost looks like you've been out in the snow. It gives you this stunning natural lived in flush that still looks like your skin. So I am bluffing out the edges with this angled brush and just blending it in with my bronzer. Finishing off the face, I'm going with the RMS Radiance Locking Setting Mist. This is gonna just, again, really seal the deal on that skin-like look and also increase the wear time. Then we're going straight into eyes. For eyes, I also start off with the ERE PEREZ Cacao Bronzing Pot. I like a really sculpted eye. I don't have a lot of room to play with. I have quite a heavy brow. So this is something that I do on my eye shape specifically. I wouldn't say this is necessary, but it's gonna be like a map for that cat-like shape that I'm usually always going for. After we buff that in, I go in with the 100% pure Cocoa Pigmented Bronzer. I love this stuff, especially on the eyes. Gorgeous, rich, warm brown. It only comes in this one shade, but I forgot how much I love it on the eyes. It really works beautifully with the highlight that we're gonna go in with in a little bit. And then I'm softening everything with just this big old Bdellium Tools 767 brush. I've used this for powder. I use it underneath my eyes. It's great for highlight in a powder form as well. It's just a good for everything. So I'm just softening all of those edges with this. And then I realized I forgot my highlighter. So I'm going in with the RMS Crystal Slipper Luminizer. I love focusing it in like a baby C formation right underneath my eyebrows to the very, very tip of my cheekbone, and then just a little bit in the center of the face as well. So, so gorgeous. One of my current faves. Then we go in with really the star of the show. This is the RMS Eyelight. This is in the shade Halo. I love this metallic formulation. I squeeze out some on the back of my hand. Again, light, thin layers. I didn't want this to feel too harsh because we hadn't built out too much dark color. I wanted this purpley pink metallic wash, and that's exactly what I got. Softening this once again, but you could see that marriage of those two colors. They really just work so beautifully together. So once we do that, I go ahead with the RMS, or no, sorry, this is the 100% pure Cocoa Pigmented Bronzer, a smaller Bdellium Tools brush. I like doing something on the underneath of my lash line. We'll intensify this a little bit, but just a tiny bit, a little goes a long way just to beef up the lashes and tie in that warm look. Then I'm going in with the Manasi Eye and Lip Definer. This is in the shade Yobari. I wanted to use this shade because, as you can see when I hold it up close, it's a really beautiful, cool toned purple tone. So this is also really great for sculpting. It's going to tie in really beautifully for the purple sort of theme that we've been using here today. And they're also incredibly creamy. So drawing a wing tends to be really, really effortless with this. And then I take a little pencil Bdellium Tools brush. I'm actually using a shade from the Inica Wind Quad here. So it has a little bit of a metallic finish. And again, layers. I want this to last. So you can see it's soft yet defined. And that's exactly the look that we are going for. Like I said, we're gonna darken the lower lash line just a little bit. So I'm gonna run that pencil underneath both lashes before I go in with the Plume Lash Curler. Curl both sides of my lashes. I've been really getting into curling my lashes a lot more lately. I feel like it makes a really big difference. And then finishing off the eyes with the RMS Straight Up Peptide Mascara. I am using this pretty heavy-handed. You can see I get a little bit on my eyelid. I wipe that off, touch up the eyes, and then we're ready for lips. So for lips, I am going in with the Fit Glow. This is the vegan lip liner in the shade Muted Mauve. This has a touch of fuchsia almost to it, but it's still in that, it's almost like berry-ish, but still in that mauve family. Not too dark, but definitely gonna give us some definition. It's gonna make a nice contrast with what we put on the lips as well. I never line the entirety of my bottom lip. I don't know why, but I do use the pencil to sort of feather those edges and make it look nice and soft. Then you know I cannot get my hands off these SWEED lipsticks. Every time, this is what my hand reaches for. This is in the shade 90s Model. Still a little bit more of a berry brownish shade, but I wanted to smudge it and make it look a little bit more lived in, and finishing it off with the Rituel de Fille Thornbite Peptide Lip Oil and Rose Dew. All right, everyone, that is it. This is my completed makeup for fall. I really wanted to challenge myself to do something just a little bit different. Same sort of shapes, same universe of the things that I like, but just with a little fall twist. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. It's a really nice way to sort of jump into color without it being too overwhelming. I have been wearing that RMS Eyelight all the time, this dramatic or otherwise. So I'm just really into that formula again. So I will link every single product that I used here today down below. If you want the links to any other helpful videos, let me know as well, because I've reviewed a lot of these at length. Also can't get my hands off the Crystal Slipper highlighter, but any of the RMS highlighters. Just a lot of good stuff shown here today. So if you guys like this video, you like when I do makeup tutorials, then please give the video a big thumbs up, subscribe. I do upload new videos here every single week, or just about, and I don't want you guys to miss it. If you have any other makeup look requests, or there's things that you like to see from me, please sound off in the comment section down below. But before you go, while you're down there checking out all the fabulous products linked, please make sure to also check out our newsletter. I always leave that at the top of the description. It'll remind you of when sales go live, videos go live from me. It is just about November, which means our Black Friday gift is coming soon. So you're gonna wanna subscribe so you don't miss that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the consistent love and support. And I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye.